A big price increase is going to follow for the overall policies that Medicare recipients pay. Consumer credit card debt has surged past $1 trillion. An interesting development in the untimely death of popular Friends star Matthew Perry. This is Dr. David D. Schein for this special episode of Saving America with our weekly update. This is going to be quite a bit shorter than usual since an overwhelming majority of last week's news cycle has been the nonstop coverage of the Democratic National Convention. I'm working on a longer piece about the convention now, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, in non-DNC news, something that would never happen in the private sector, apparently many federal employees are spending most of their time on taxpayers' payroll doing work for their unions. A bill recently proposed by the Republicans in Congress would end taxpayer-funded union activities by federal employees. Apparently, Trump tried to limit this to 25% of their work time, which I still find ridiculous, but Biden-Harris administration reversed this rule, and that means that you could have people on the federal payroll spending 100% of their time working on their union activities. One of my planks in Saving America is to have our federal workforce do real work or get fired. Doing union business should be on their own time, period, end of discussion. Speaking of federal misdeeds under Biden-Harris, the administration has recently been taking a victory lap over reducing prescription prices on certain drugs under Medicare. This was under the falsely labeled Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA. But guess what? A big price increase is going to follow for the overall policies that Medicare recipients pay. Why? To make up for the losses on the prescriptions. To avoid this hitting in an election year, get this, folks, the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services, CMS, planned a 3-year demonstration project to subsidize these premiums. It will keep them low during this period. But the subsidies are going to have to come from somewhere, right? It's estimated that the taxpayers will fund an increase in subsidies from $30 per recipient per month in 2024 to $142.70 a month in 2025. Just what we taxpayers need when the federal debt is already out of control. This is a totally unacceptable situation. On the economic front, there are many signs that things are not okay. Consumer credit card debt has surged past $1 trillion. If there are many defaults on this debt, this could ripple through the economy. The consumers flush with COVID cash ran through that cash now. The problem now is that many are still trying to spend at that level, but without the cash reserves because they've already been exhausted. Switching gears a bit. PRC persecution of Falun Gong spreads to the USA. My audience knows that I've expressed concern about the People's Republic of China persecution of the Chinese followers of the peaceful Falun Gong movement. In the US, Falun Gong has created Shen Yun, a performing group which is set up as a nonprofit foundation. Turns out, recently, 2 Chinese agents pled guilty to acting as unregistered agents and bribing an IRS agent to take away the nonprofit status of Shen Yun. This again emphasizes the importance of having a strong American government across the board that will not allow the PRC to do such shenanigans, certainly not inside the United States. Moving in a different direction, I did not usually cover show business in this report, but there's been an interesting development in the untimely death of popular Friends star Matthew Perry. He died just short of his 55th birthday. A stunning headline states that 5 people, including his assistant and 2 doctors, charged in Matthew Perry's death. Note that the doctors charged were not his regular doctors. This report indicates that the ketamine overdose was the cause of his death. This is reminiscent of the death of Michael Jackson, whose death was blamed on legally obtained drugs, according to a report at that time. We close with some good financial news for Texas. Saving America recently hailed Chevron's moving its corporate headquarters to Texas. Well, there are also many financial firms that are finding a friendly and less expensive base in the Lone Star State. Household names like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Wells Fargo are making major moves in Texas. One statistic is Dallas is second only to New York City in the number of people employed in the financial sector. Thanks for joining me for this special episode of Saving America. This is Dr. David D. Schein thanking you and inviting you to subscribe on your favorite platform.